Alright guys, let's keep it real today. We all know that age gap in dating is pretty controversial, and truth be told, there's nothing wrong with you preferring younger women. Trust me, I get it. As a successful guy, you feel like you deserve it. But here's what most people won't tell you, and that is the real barrier isn't usually the age difference in itself, it's how you present your age along with the settings that you use on dating apps. Now, if you're new here, my name is Austin Dunham, and I personally have helped hundreds of successful men between the ages of 30 and 40 optimize their dating lives. And I've noticed a clear pattern. Men who understand and implement what I'm about to tell you in this video consistently date younger, while those who don't wonder why they're only matching with women their age or even older. So in this video, we're gonna cover the psychology between the specific age ranges based on real data, how to adjust your settings for maximum visibility, and the crucial presentation mistakes that instantly age you up, and the exact social approach that will maintain attraction. So without a doubt, the first thing we have to discuss is from the fact that you need to present a youthful and trendy image. Listen, it doesn't matter how attractive you are, it doesn't matter what dating app settings you even use. If you look old, you're gonna attract older women. Now I want you to think about these two celebrities in which you probably heard of, and that is first off, Shamar Moore. Did you know Shamar Moore is in his 50s? Yet I guarantee if Shamar Moore was to get on dating apps, he would be attracting younger women. Now also George Clooney. George Clooney is one of those classically handsome guys, but also he has like that youthful sort of trendy appearance to him. And for that reason, I without a doubt know that he could attract younger women too. Now, of course, you might not be as handsome as these guys, but you can absolutely do the bare minimum when it comes to your style and also your fitness. Listen, if you're overweight, if you're fat, if you have excess body fat, I would say above 17% body fat, that's gonna make you look 5 times older, and it doesn't matter what age you're in. Now, beyond the fitness, I can't forget about the style, the presentation, how we actually curate the image and the outfits we decide to wear. And I truly believe that every man should focus on wearing good style. However, if you are an older gentleman, you truly cannot have bad style whatsoever. So what I personally recommend is that you dress in something called sexy semi-formal when you decide to go out there and take your pictures. Now, sexy semi-formal is kind of like what I'm wearing right here. You're wearing nice button downs. However, I'm not buttoning all the way up, looking like a super professional with my sleeves rolled down. I'm wearing a little bit of jewelry just to increase the sex appeal a little bit. And doing this alone towards your outfits will sort of give more of that trendier, younger sort of look. Also, we have the sexy casual look, where it's not as formal as this. Perhaps you're wearing a sweater, even a t-shirt with a nice jacket layered above. All these things can be presented in a more sexy, trendy sort of way. That way you appeal to a younger demographic, or even if a woman looks at your pictures, she's not saying, oh, look at that old guy, swipe left. Now, just so you can visualize this even more, I'm gonna leave a few pictures right here so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And these pictures actually came from our personal lookbooks that I share with some of my clients. So also when it comes to your presentation, there's some hacks that you can do to really present a younger image. And one that you should definitely be doing if you have facial hair is just dyeing the beard. I'm not saying that you gotta go full black and make yourself look 10, 15 years younger. You can have a little bit of salt and pepper there, but you don't wanna be showing a whole lot of grays. Now, I think this is more important if you're in your 50s or even in your 60s if you're watching this video and you're new to the dating scene. If you just dye the beard with some Just for Men beard dye, get some real black, maybe leave a few grays in there, that can literally make all the difference. And it's super quick. You just mix up the stuff and just throw it on your face and you're good to go. Now, the next presentation hack is actually a game changer. In fact, I did this exact strategy with one of my older clients and his matches 3x overnight. And what we did was we actually just smoothed out his wrinkles just a little bit, which actually makes a big difference in terms of how young you look. Now, the specific client I'm talking about, he had really strong eye bags, really strong forehead wrinkles, and truth be told, he was a handsome guy, but that was just aging him about 6 years older than what he actually was. And just a few quick edits of removing that, and we were able to actually make him look significantly younger, but still mature and professional, and it made all the difference. Now, there are plenty of apps you can use to do this. My favorite ones are Facetune and FaceApp. Now, when it comes to your presentation, the point here I wanna make is that if you don't look your age, women are likely to oversee your actual age. And as somebody who is approaching their 30s, I have seen this firsthand. When I meet women, they actually think I'm 25, 26. They actually don't guess that I'm 29 or almost in my 30s whatsoever. And that's because I simply have taken care of myself, and the way that I curate my image makes all the difference. Now, some other things I want to mention regarding your pictures and even your profile is to not show or mention that you have kids. Kids can actually be a huge disqualifier to younger women because likely they don't have kids themselves. And especially if we're trying to attract a woman who also doesn't have kids, it's purely not in our best interest to talk about our kids or show that we have children whatsoever. And in some cases, once a woman has already gotten to know you, that can definitely elevate attraction, but they can get to know that about us as we're going out on dates or within conversation. Also, another huge mistake that older gentlemen make is that they tend to only lead with money, thinking that material possessions and all that jazz is what's going to attract a younger woman. Now, if you're on seeking arrangements, trying to find a prostitute or trying to find a companion to pay, absolutely, that can work. However, if we're optimizing more for genuine desire, which we all should be doing, you don't want to lead only with materials, but once again, we want to showcase our style. We want to show how attractive we are. We want to show also a component of our lifestyle. We're professional, we have a good time, and we know how to have a good time. However, if we match and if we start talking, I'm not just gonna start paying your bills or be your sugar daddy. We don't wanna frame ourselves into that of the sugar daddy. Avoid that. Now let's talk about some actual dating app settings when it comes to your age, because one of the tips you probably thought I was gonna say is that you need to lie about your age. And I would say you're wrong. We need to strategically lie about our age. Listen, if you're a 40-year-old guy, you cannot lie about your age and put that you're 29. Women are gonna see through that. It's gonna come up in conversation eventually, and you're gonna have to explain yourself all awkwardly. And so we need to strategically put an age that falls in line with what we're trying to attract that also seems genuine and real. And whether or not you come up with the explanation on the back end, that's totally up to you. However, I'm not sure if you heard, but there's a pretty common and socially acceptable age range to date, and it follows an equation. And that equation is half your age plus 7. If you're 35 right now, divide that by 2, where you get 15 and a half, math, or 16, something like that, right? Plus 7, what is that, 16? That's like 23 or 24, right? Bad at math, but you guys get the point. And so basically how we're gonna curate our age will be based on those ranges, and I'm gonna list it out to you right now. So think about the age of the woman who is your ideal type of woman you want to attract. So we're gonna go down the list. If you're looking to attract a woman between the ages of 18 and 23, it's gonna be your best bet to put that you're between 27 and 30. However, remember, this must look real. If you look like you're 45 and you put 30, it is gonna backfire. So make sure that you do the presentation techniques that we talked about. Now, up next, if you're trying to attract between the ages of 24 and 27, you wanna put 30 to 35. Because keep in mind, dating app algorithms, if you put that you're 35 or 40 years old, they're gonna show you women who are 35 to 40 years old. You will very rarely get younger women, and that's one thing that I personally have noticed as I've gotten older. I've been using dating apps since I was 22 years old, and I used to match with 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, but nowadays I'm getting nothing but 27, 28-year-olds because I'm 29, right? Just keep that in mind. And then up next, we got ages 27 to 30. If that is the age range in which you would like to attract, we need to do 36 to 39. That is going to be ideal. But do keep in mind, this can only be changed once you're setting up the profile for the first time. So if you currently have an active profile right now and it shows that you're 35 or 40 years old, chances are you won't be able to change that. So you will have to create a new profile, which really isn't that hard. All you have to do is delete the old one and just create a new one or use a new number. However, for safety and protectional reasons, dating apps usually don't allow you to change your age once you've already set up a profile. Now, hopefully you're taking notes, because the next thing I want you to change is your radius. I want you to expand it to where it will be around an hour drive for you. And ideally, we want to be by or near a major city. Now, when you're in major cities or in big metro areas, of course, dating apps are gonna work the best because the higher the population. However, if you're in a city to where there's nothing but old people and no young people, you don't live near a college or you don't have a young demographic of where you live, of course, this is gonna be a lot harder just because there's less younger women to go around. And so if you do find yourself in that position, just expand your radius just a little bit more to where you're comfortable with potentially meeting a woman at. That way we just cast our net out even wider. So we have different layers of presentation. We have our pictures and our presentation, which we talked about, but also we have our bio. And the biggest issue I see older guys making with their bio is that they have something what I like to call old man talk, where it's clearly shown through the way you're expressing yourself and describing yourself in the bio that you're an older guy. We don't want to paint any picture at all that we are an older gentleman, right? And so what we need to do is basically remove the autobiography, remove what we're looking for. Once again, remove that we have kids and keep it fun and flirty. Just have some adjectives that describe yourself. Look a little bit hip, as they call it. Use emojis. So I'm gonna give you just a bad example and a good example just so you can really see what I mean when I'm talking about the bio here. So for example, an old man bio might say, recently divorced, loving life with my 2 sons, and I love to go fishing and read books. If I was to read that without even viewing the guy's profile, I would assume you're probably 40, 45, something like that. However, if we switch this to the younger bio, I love traveling and new adventures. I might be more spontaneous than you, and hopefully you can keep up with a winky face. Message me if you also appreciate a nice red wine. That definitely is so much better. It's going to attract a younger demographic of women. And once again, this is actually a true client bio who was over 40 plus, in which we changed, and it made a huge difference in terms of women who were showing interest in him. And if you guys don't know, younger women are also really into wine. They love it. Wine and espresso martinis. Now, of course, we cannot forget about the social aspect, and this is going to be more important when it comes to your texting. You do not want to make innuendos when it comes to your age or bring it up whatsoever. You need to be completely indifferent to the fact that you are talking to a younger woman, and do not sabotage that conversation by trying to mentor them or trying to act like their dad, or showcasing your knowledge in all these different areas. You need to, once again, keep it fun and lighthearted. Actually, mentally, you need to almost act as if you're max 3 years older than her. Now, I know this can be difficult because sometimes in conversation, especially when it comes to in real life, once you guys do meet, it might be hard to relate on some subjects. It might be hard to talk about your experiences because you two had different life paths and stories. However, that's why we keep it fun. We don't actually talk about these serious topics. We don't approach the conversation in such a logical way. Once again, we're just being fun and flirty. Talk about more so her interests, not necessarily her background and her history, but more so her interests and the things that you guys can do together. So please remember that the real success will come from how you actually interact with these matches once you get them. Now, if you are serious about optimizing your dating life and you want my help reviewing your profile, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to click the link down below in the description to apply for a free profile review. During this call, we're going to analyze your current profile and identify what's actually holding you back. Then from there, we're going to create a game plan for you to attract the type of woman you want and what we need to do in a step-by-step format to attract her. Now, I only take a limited number of clients each month to ensure that I can give everyone the attention that they need and deserve. So if you are ready to transform your dating life, click the link down below and hopefully we'll be talking soon. I will see you in the next video.